Hi guys, we're going to go ahead and go through each of the bones in the body. I'll make one video for each bone. We'll go through the bone and the bone features. We're going to start out with the clavicle or collarbone. Looking at the bone itself, you can see that the clavicle is kind of an S shape. It's got the two curves to it, so it looks like a flattened S. The clavicle or collarbone sits in the body right here like this. It has an end that meets up with the sternum anteriorly, and then it goes out kind of posteriorly and laterally, and it goes back and it meets up with the scapula or shoulder blade in the back. The scapula or shoulder blade has a process that sticks up called the acromion. We'll talk about that in the next video. But it meets up with the acromion or acromion process of the scapula. When you look at the clavicle, again, it has these two curves to it. The way that it sits in the body is this first curve is an anterior facing curve. So it curves outward first. And then as it heads out towards the scapula, it curves backwards a little bit before it goes and meets up with the scapula. So this is the clavicle. The two parts of the clavicle that you guys need to know are the sternal end and the acromial end. The sternal end is this wide end. So looking at it, you can see it's a lot chunkier, right? It's a lot wider of an end. When you look at the acromial end, it's much flatter, right? It looks as if like somebody just pinched it and flattened it out a bit. And that's the acromial end that goes back to meet up with the acromion of the scapula. So looking at this, this is my clavicle. It's kind of S-shaped. It sits in the body like this. It meets up with the sternum in the front and the scapula in the back. The two ends are the sternal end. That's the wide, kind of rounded end. And the acromial end. That's the flat end.